Welcome to Words Matter. Tuesday, October 1st, 2019. I'm Nick Hahn, your host for this broadcast. I've been thinking for some time that the word love is so important in a world racked with pain and uncertainty and conflict. I know that sounds a little corny. I know that you're supposed to be more practical in a world like this, but I think there's a lesson to be learned by our friends in Pakistan, the Muslim world, who have quite a different take on love. This is a blog that I wrote several years ago, which I'd like to share with you today. A love story. Love is a common word, hackneyed, used over and over for everything but what the poets intended. Love is not words or emotions. Love is not music, lyrics, or quotes. Love is feeling, sharing, supporting, understanding. Love is commitment without qualification. Love supports. It does not judge. Love is lasting. It doesn't end with words or deeds or circumstances. It's a continuum that survives the darkness of life and supports us, makes us whole. Love is the elixir of life. We can't survive without it. We merely exist. It's the difference that makes us soar, rising above the ugliness, the sadness, the despair. If you're not loved and don't love, your potential erodes one depressing day after another. When you meet someone for the first time, there is a reaction. You form an instant opinion, good, bad, or indifferent. Is this fair? Not really, but it's human. So many things come into play: appearance, tone of voice, demeanor. It isn't until later that we find the spark, that feeling that washes over us like a tidal wave. We discover that appearances are fleeting. We find that touch is more important than words, that feeling is more important than emotion. Can it be love in an instant? Maybe. But you have to be lucky. Very, very lucky. When serving as a contractor in Pakistan some years ago, I worked with a young Muslim man as my translator and local guide. He was born in Pakistan and educated with an advanced degree in economics. His name was Farid. He's married, and his wife is expecting their first child. I asked him if he followed the Muslim custom of family-arranged marriages. He said yes. Unfeelingly, I expressed sympathy that he didn't have the opportunity to fall in love first. His expression, when answering, was of total surprise. His pushback was quick and unequivocal. I'm in full agreement with the custom. I never laid eyes on my wife until 2 weeks before our wedding. Our families did a perfect job. We're perfectly matched, not the mismatch so often behind the high divorce rate in the West. They both came from the same religion, culture, education, background, and family circumstances. He said that conflict arises only when, as a newly married couple, you move into a compound with the husband's family. Typically, his mother lives under the same roof and dominates domestic life. Pakistanis with means live in large houses, more like small hotels, with 4 or 5 floors. The whole multi-generational family lives there. Siblings and spouses on the upper floors with their own apartments, grandparents and great-grandparents on lower floors. The ground floor is reserved for communal cooking, eating, and socializing. In a social setting, men are separated from the women, sitting in the center of the parlor, puffing on a hookah, the ancient water pipe preferred by Muslims. The women are on the periphery, huddled together gossiping in hushed tones so as not to disturb the men. Modern couples reject this arrangement. Fareed told me that he and his new bride took their own apartment in Lahore, breaking centuries of tradition to their parents' disapproval. I couldn't help but think that marriage in the Muslim world was not a love affair. It's a business partnership. There is no feeling, just calculation. E. Cummings gets it right. A poet is somebody who feels and who expresses his feelings through words. This may sound easy. It isn't. A lot of people think or believe or know they feel, but that's thinking or believing or knowing, not feeling. And poetry is feeling, not knowing or believing or thinking. Almost anybody can learn to think or believe or know, but not a single human being can be taught to feel. Why? Because whenever you think, or you believe, or you know, you're a lot of other people. But the moment you feel, you're nobody but yourself. To be nobody but yourself, in a world which is doing its best night and day to make you everybody else, means to fight the hardest battle which any human being can fight, and never stop fighting. Words matter. I'll see you next time.